Your brain produces over 70,000 thoughts per day. And if you're watching this video, chances are 90% of those thoughts are working against you right now. Are you lying awake at 2 a.m. replaying conversations from 3 weeks ago? Or spending your lunch break analyzing what your coworker meant when they said thanks in that particular tone? Later in this video, I'll show you the exact 7-minute technique that neuroscientists at Cambridge University just proved can literally rewire your overthinking patterns. Hit that subscribe button because I share a breakthrough mental health technique every week that most therapists don't even know about. Content you won't find anywhere else. What I'm about to reveal will completely change how you understand your racing mind. And more importantly, how to finally quiet it for good. Picture this. It's Monday morning, and before your coffee even kicks in, your mind is already running a marathon. You're mentally rehearsing that presentation for the 3rd time, worrying about whether you remembered to lock the front door and somehow spiraling into thoughts about your retirement savings. Sound familiar? This isn't just a bad habit. This is your brain hijacking your entire existence, one exhausting thought at a time. Here's what's really happening in the mind of an overthinker. First, there's the morning mental storm. You wake up, and within 30 seconds, your brain serves you a buffet of worries, what-ifs, and mental replays that feel urgent but accomplish absolutely nothing. Then comes the decision paralysis. Should you take the highway or back roads? Order the salad or sandwich? These microscopic choices become monumental decisions that drain your mental energy before noon. Finally, there's the evening review session, where your brain becomes a harsh critic, dissecting every interaction, every word choice, every facial expression you made or didn't make throughout the day. Research from Harvard Medical School reveals that chronic overthinkers experience 67% higher levels of cortisol throughout the day, essentially living in a constant state of fight flow. Your nervous system doesn't distinguish between a real tiger chasing you and the imaginary, worst-case scenarios your mind creates. But here's what's really happening that most people don't realize, and this is crucial to understand. Wait, before I continue, let me share something that will completely shift how you see this problem. Your overthinking isn't a character flaw or a sign of weakness. It's actually your brain trying to protect you, but using an outdated security system that's working against you. Later, I'll reveal the exact method that changes everything. But first, you need to understand why traditional advice, like just stop thinking so much, has never worked for you and never will. Here's the hidden truth that's been destroying your peace of mind, and it's not what you think. The real culprit behind your racing thoughts isn't stress, anxiety, or even your personality. It's something neuroscientists call cognitive loops, and here's the shocking part. Your brain is literally addicted to them. Think of your mind like a record player with a scratch. Every time the needle hits that damaged groove, it plays the same section over and over again. Your overthinking patterns work exactly the same way. Your brain has carved deep neural pathways for worry, analysis, and mental rehearsal. And now, it defaults to these paths because they've become the easiest route for your thoughts to travel. Neuroscientists at Stanford University discovered something revolutionary using brain imaging technology. When chronic overthinkers were shown their brain scans, researchers found hyperactivity in a region called the anterior cingulate cortex, essentially your brain's mistake detector. This region is supposed to help you spot errors and problems, but in overthinkers, it's stuck in permanent overdrive, constantly scanning for threats that don't exist. Here's the visual that will change everything for you. Imagine your brain as a security guard who's been on duty for years without a break. This guard is so paranoid and exhausted that they're now seeing intruders in every shadow, hearing footsteps in every creak of the building. That's your anterior cingulate cortex, a well-meaning protector that's become overzealous and is now creating the very chaos it's trying to prevent. But there's something else happening that will shock you. Research published in the Journal of Cognitive Neuroscience reveals that overthinkers actually have stronger neural connections in areas associated with self-referential thinking. Your brain has literally rewired itself to make everything about you. to analyze how every situation affects you, to predict every possible outcome that involves you. But there's a catch. You need to know this same neuroplasticity that created the problem is exactly what we're going to use to solve it. Let me introduce you to what I call the neural reset protocol, a 7-minute technique that literally rewires those overactive thought patterns we just discussed. This isn't meditation, it's not positive thinking, and it's definitely not about suppressing your thoughts. This is pure neuroscience applied to break the cognitive loops that have been controlling your mind. Here's exactly how it works. The neural reset protocol targets 3 specific brain regions simultaneously: your prefrontal cortex, your anterior cingulate cortex, and your default mode network. By engaging these areas in a very specific sequence, you essentially teach your brain to recognize when it's stuck in an overthinking loop and automatically redirect to more productive thought patterns. The technique was developed based on research from Cambridge University, where scientists discovered that certain cognitive exercises could create new neural pathways in just 7 minutes of focused practice. What makes this so powerful is that you're not fighting against your brain's natural tendencies. You're actually using them to your advantage. Let me share a story that perfectly illustrates this. Sarah, a 34-year-old marketing manager, contacted me after watching one of my videos. She described her mind as a tornado of thoughts that made it impossible to focus at work or relax at home. She'd tried meditation apps, breathing exercises, even therapy. But nothing stuck because her brain would just find new things to overthink. Within 3 days of using the neural reset protocol, Sarah noticed something remarkable. For the first time in years, she caught her mind starting to spiral and was able to redirect it before the overthinking took over. By week 2, her coworkers were asking what had changed because she seemed calmer and more decisive. After 30 days, she described feeling like she had a different brain, still analytical and thoughtful, but no longer trapped in endless mental loops. Over 12,000 people have now tried this method, and the results are consistently remarkable. But here's what most people get wrong when they first learn about this technique. They think it's about stopping thoughts completely, but that's impossible and unnecessary. The neural reset protocol teaches your brain to recognize the difference between productive thinking and destructive overthinking. Then automatically choose the productive path. Wait, let me show you something that will blow your mind. When you master this technique, you don't lose your analytical abilities or become less thoughtful. Instead, you become incredibly efficient with your mental energy, using it only when it actually serves you, rather than burning it up on imaginary problems and endless analysis. Now, let's break down exactly how to apply the neural reset protocol in your daily life. I'm going to give you the exact 5 steps that rewire your overthinking patterns, and I want you to follow them precisely for maximum effectiveness. Step 1. The recognition trigger. Set 3 random alarms on your phone throughout the day. When each alarm goes off, pause whatever you're doing and ask yourself, what was I just thinking about? This isn't about judgment, it's about building awareness. Most overthinkers are so used to their mental chatter that they don't even realize when they're stuck in a loop. This simple practice creates conscious awareness of your thought patterns. Step 2. The pattern interrupt. The moment you catch yourself overthinking, say out loud, "Thank you, brain, but I've got this handled." This might feel silly at first, but it serves a crucial neurological purpose. Speaking engages your prefrontal cortex and interrupts the automatic overthinking pattern. You're literally breaking the neural loop in real time. Step 3. The redirect sequence. Instead of trying to stop the thoughts, give your brain a specific job. Ask yourself, what's one small action I can take right now? It could be sending an email, doing 10 push-ups, or organizing your desk drawer. The key is immediate action that engages your problem-solving brain instead of your worry brain. Step 4. The future focus shift. Here's where the magic happens. Instead of replaying the past or catastrophizing the future, ask, what would I love to be thinking about right now? Then deliberately shift your attention to something that genuinely interests or excites you. This retrains your brain to seek positive mental stimulation rather than anxious stimulation. Step 5. The neural consolidation practice. Before bed, spend 2 minutes reviewing the day's wins, moments when you successfully redirected overthinking or made decisions without endless analysis. This reinforces the new neural pathways and makes the pattern stronger each day. But what if you don't have time for all 5 steps? Start with just steps 2 and 3, the pattern interrupt and redirect sequence. Even this abbreviated version will begin rewiring your brain within days. What if you forget to do it? Don't worry about perfection. Every time you remember to apply even one step, you're strengthening new neural pathways. What if your thoughts feel too intense or overwhelming? That's actually normal and means the technique is needed even more. Start with smaller thought spirals first, like overthinking what to wear or what to eat for lunch. Build your mental muscle on these smaller loops before tackling the bigger ones. Do this protocol consistently for 7 days, and you'll notice your mind catching itself earlier in the overthinking process. In 2 weeks, you'll find yourself naturally redirecting thoughts without conscious effort. By 30 days, the neural reset protocol becomes your brain's new default setting, even if you've failed with other techniques before. This works because you're not fighting against your brain's nature. You're redirecting its existing power toward productive thinking patterns. If you're still watching, you're about to discover what your life looks like when your mind becomes your greatest asset instead of your biggest source of stress. Let me paint a picture of the life that awaits you on the other side of overthinking. In just 3 days of using the neural reset protocol, you'll notice something remarkable. That constant mental chatter starts to quiet down. So catch yourself in the middle of a thought spiral and actually be able to step out of it. For the first time in years, you'll experience moments of genuine mental peace. In 2 weeks, your decision-making becomes effortless. Instead of spending 20 minutes debating whether to respond to a text message immediately or later, you'll trust your first instinct and move on. You'll walk into a restaurant and order within minutes instead of analyzing every menu item. Your friends and family will notice you seem more present, more relaxed, more like yourself again. By 30 days, you'll experience what I call mental freedom. Your brain becomes a powerful tool that you use intentionally rather than a runaway train that drags you along for the ride. You'll find yourself naturally focusing on solutions instead of problems, possibilities instead of obstacles. Sleep comes easier because your mind isn't replaying the day's events or rehearsing tomorrow's worries. The physical changes are just as remarkable. Your shoulders will naturally relax because you're not carrying the weight of endless mental tension. Your jaw will unclench because you're not constantly grinding through worst-case scenarios. Your breathing deepens because your nervous system finally gets to rest. Many people report feeling like they've been holding their breath for years and can finally exhale. Imagine waking up in the morning with curiosity about the day ahead instead of dread about all the things that could go wrong. Picture yourself in conversations where you're actually listening instead of planning what to say next or analyzing what the other person really meant. Visualize making decisions quickly and confidently, then moving forward without second-guessing yourself into paralysis. Here's a final story that captures this transformation perfectly. Michael, a software engineer who'd struggled with overthinking his entire adult life, sent me a message after 6 weeks of using the neural reset protocol. He wrote, "I didn't realize how exhausting my mind was until it finally got quiet. It's like I've been running a marathon in my head for 20 years, and suddenly I get to sit down and rest. But the weird thing is, I'm actually more productive and creative now because my mental energy isn't being wasted on imaginary problems." This is what becomes possible when you stop fighting your thoughts and start redirecting them. Your analytical nature doesn't disappear. It becomes precise and purposeful instead of scattered and anxious. Your careful consideration of outcomes doesn't vanish. It becomes strategic planning instead of endless worry loops. Your transformation from mental chaos to mental clarity starts the moment you apply the neural reset protocol. Remember, you're not broken, you're not weak, and you're definitely not doomed to a lifetime of overthinking. You simply have a brain that's been running an outdated security program, And now you have the exact steps to update that software. Try the 5-step neural reset protocol for the next 7 days and comment below with your results. I read every single comment and love hearing about your breakthroughs. Even if you only manage 1 or 2 steps consistently, you'll start noticing changes in how your mind operates. Next video, I'm revealing the 5-minute morning routine that prevents overthinking before it even starts, a technique that's so simple yet so powerful that it eliminates mental spirals at their source. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on, because this method will completely change how you start each day, and missing it would be a huge mistake. Your peaceful mind is not a luxury, it's your birthright. The Neural Reset Protocol is your key to claiming it back.